Mario Bros. Games have introduced dozens of enemies since their debut in 1983, but none have been more fun to step on, stomp on, drop things on, and otherwise destroy than the Goomba. These armless, neckless, angry sidestepping little things have become a household enemy since their level 1-1 appearance in Super Mario Bros. In 1985, and there were few things more satisfying than jumping up and getting your boots dirty with some fresh Goomba guts.
That is an extremely gross way to describe defeating Goombas. Anyway, since Goombas started stomping around in Mario games, Nintendo has not only devised new ways for Goombas to protect themselves, but they've also devised new ways to destroy them. Hammers, fireballs, lightning strikes, spin punching them. There's so many ways to defeat these mushroom-shaped walnut-colored bipeds.
With so many ways to defeat these little monsters, there must be a definitive list of the best ways to take them out. Well, there isn't one that we've seen, so let's go through these games and figure out the top 5 best ways to destroy these little fuckers.
A note before we start, this list is an opinion and should not be taken as definitive in any way, shape, or form. You may even learn a new way to defeat those little buggers. Let's get started.
We all remember Super Mario Galaxy, right? I shouldn't feel old by saying that, and nobody can call me an old man for asking if we remember a game that recent, right?
Sure, old man.
Hey.
Anyway, Super Mario Galaxy was a game about Mario traveling to different galaxies to collect power stars to not only save Rosalina's observatory, but stop Bowser and his galaxy generator. Throughout the many galaxies in both the first game and its sequel, Super Mario Galaxy 2, you encounter a lot of different enemies, including some new variations of our favorite enemies to stop, Goombas.
There's spooky Goombas, Goombas with helmets, electric Goombas, tiny Goombas, big Goombas, and Octoombas, which bear a striking resemblance to electric Goombas. All these appear throughout Galaxies 1 and 2 and are just as fun to spin punch as they are to stomp on. Some of them even need to be stomped on to be defeated.
And while stomping them certainly isn't as entertaining as perpetually spinning them to their doom with the thousands of star bits littered throughout the game, it is a death all Goombas have become used to by now. But just stomping them is not enough.
Just spin punching them is not enough either.
And ground pounding them? Forget about it.
But wait!
What if there was a way
to combine all 3 moves? Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the 5th best way to stomp our Goom buddies out of existence. The spin, ground, pound, super, jump, stomp, pound, ground.
Spin stomp is fine, James. Stop there.
The spin stomp! I said it first.
To execute this extremely effective move, you simply need to press A to jump, shake your Wiimote to spin in midair, and press the Z button to initiate a ground pound. This will cause Mario to spin in midair for about half a second before descending to the ground like a man who knows how perfect this move is for defeating Goombas.
Yep, not only that, this move has a slight targeting system too. It would be very easy for enemies to escape this move, that's why if the enemy is close enough, the move will alter Mario's trajectory and land him perfectly on the enemies, namely Goombas, heads.
While the move is slow and somewhat ineffective, it is a nice flashy depart from Mario's regular stomping abilities throughout the Galaxy series. There may be other more practical applications for this move besides Goomba galloping, but we can't think of it, and that's okay because Goomba stomping is now its main purpose, and one of the best ways to do it, except of course the other 4 on this list.
Andy, what's one of the best ways to relieve stress and anger?
Yelling at people on Twitter who are different than you.
Maybe for a psycho, but no. Beating the stuffing out of some beloved Nintendo characters is the answer.
Of course. How could I have possibly misinterpreted that? But I do agree with you, James. There's no better feeling than going to your game cabinet, dusting off your Wiimote and Wii U gamepad, and sitting down with your friends to play the best Smash Bros. Game in existence. Beating them in Smash Tour and the various other fun modes it has really soothes the body and mind of any stresses the day throws at you.
Wow, does Smash 4 really do that for you?
Given that it came out during my college years, it should come as no surprise to you that I have over 200 hours on the 3DS version.
Only 200 hours. Scrub.
Well, it has various reasons to keep coming back to it, but Smash 4 being the best Smash is an argument for another day. That's why number 4 on our list is smashing Goombas in Smash Bros. Starting back in Smash Bros. Melee, Sakurai gifted Nintendo fans with the ability to defeat Goombas as more than just the pudgy plumber, but as every single Smash character!
That's right, Adventure Mode's first level was a romp through the Mushroom Kingdom, and the first enemies you come in contact with are Koopas and oh look, Goombas! You can defeat them the classic way, stomping their eyes to their feet in classic Goomba defeating fashion, or use any of these Smashers' different abilities to fucking annihilate them.
Or grab them and throw them, which is very effective. When these shiitake mushrooms returned in Brawl, they brought their much bigger brethren for the fight. No longer can you defeat any of these guys in one hit, or one single stomp. These guys take some type of strategy if you hope to escape their grasp without damage. damage.
Then they returned one more time in Smash 4 on the 3DS and Smash Run. They pose way less of a threat and can be easily defeated with consecutive stomps on the head. Of course, with the addition of equipment that alter the character's abilities, it offers literally millions of ways to defeat Goombas in this game. How can it get any better?
It can get better, because there are 3 more methods on this list!
Is there any greater sense of strength than throwing a haymaker that sends the enemy into space?
Hundreds.
Is there any greater sense of strength than throwing a haymaker that sends the enemy into space as Bowser?
Only 2.
I see what you did there. Anyway, if we take it back to 2009 for a quick minute, the world saw the release of the long-awaited sequel to Mario & Luigi Partners in Time. Mario & Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story.
Rest in peace, Alpha Dream.
Bowser's Inside Story saw the return of many characters in this series and followed a brand new series of A and B stories that culminated in one of the greatest final boss themes, some of the best remixes of that final boss theme, and the ability to control Bowser. Bowser!
That's right. After controlling Mario and Luigi in the first 2, Alpha Dream blew our minds with the ability to control Bowser, use his fire breath, unleash chaos with his new Kirby-like inhale ability, or do the best thing you could ever do with Bowser, throw punches!
Mario and Luigi games have some of the best controls out there, so crisp and clean and polished. But Bowser's Inside Story really went above and beyond, and it shows. No longer do you jump on or hammer most enemies in this game, you fucking deck them in the face, sending them sliding across the screen. Every punch feels powerful, every knuckle sandwich is a kick in the teeth. It's probably the most awesome Bowser has ever been.
Bowser even gets some type of voice in this game, which is a fun addition. We're ahead of ourselves. Number 3 on our list is punching Goombas to death in Bowser's Inside Story. While you don't fight many Goombas as the fist-fighting King of Koopas, the few you do get to fight as Bowser are some of the most satisfying defeats you can find. Of course, not so much when compared to number 2 on this list. Yeah, alright. This is pretty entertaining. Paper Mario on the N64 is one of the greatest games known to man, and even modern games pale in comparison to the imagination that went into this craft. Littered in somewhat secret areas throughout Paper Mario are these things called star pieces. They'll help you buy special badges and items at the top of Star Hill.
Collecting all of them is a bit of a hassle, as some can't be found until later in the game when you acquire the Super Boots and the Ground Pound. At that point, you can discover flip panels that will reveal even more star pieces. This lets you know there may be many more star pieces that you missed than you realize.
Some of which are in the beginning bits of the game, which you can now find. Test out your newfound flip panel flipping abilities at the house next to the entrance to the Forever Forest, then head to Goomba Village. Why? Because there are panels to find!
As you head back to Goomba Village, if you remember where the Goomba Fortress fell and the bridge sprang forward, there's a flip panel ripe for flipping northeast of the bridge. Then if you head back to the open area from the prologue, there's another flip panel ripe for flipping. As you grab these 2 star pieces, you'll come across the regular enemies you faced your first time through.
But this time, they stand no chance against your newfound strength you should have gathered at this point in Chapter 3. Hammer them, jump on them, or put in the extra effort to ground pound them. If you feel the need, you can allow them to touch you and initiate a battle they have no hope of winning. At this point, it's a show of pity to the Goombas, but one they should respect.
And that's why number 2 on our list is destroying Goombas in Paper Mario that you've gotten too powerful to even need to battle. If you do, simply Quake Hammer, Multi-Stomp, Tornado Jump, or Hammer Throw them out of your sight, or defeat them however you wish. Or don't. The beauty of number 2 is the choice in defeating them in battle or on the field. You can even spin attack to defeat them, but that's just mean.
But oh, so much fun. But not as fun as number 1 on this list. Finally, we arrive at the number 1 best way to defeat Goombas. For 34 years, Goombas have been moving side to side and running at you full speed, hosting parties, acting as hazards in Mario Kart games, and being manipulated by everyone's favorite frenemy Bowser. But we have given you 4 time-tested ways of defeating them, and while all 4 are incredibly entertaining, number 1 will blow your mind.
You mildly giggled as we revealed number 5, chuckled as we revealed 4 and 3, and let out a loud ha as we showed off number 2. Prepare for boisterous, victorious laughter as we reveal number 1.
The number 1 all-time best way to defeat Goombas will surprise you because it's not by killing them. Their self-confidence, hopes, and dreams, but not them physically. That would be a little dark. The most satisfying way to defeat these guys is to...
Fireballs.
No, James. It's...
Bowser Bomb.
Sports games and Mario Party games, James. Don't interrupt, man. Defeating Goomba in sports and Mario Party games. That is the #1 most satisfying way of defeating them.
We will dizzy ourselves to spin stomp them in Super Mario Galaxy. We will watch carefully as they bounce around the screen when we defeat them in Smash Brothers. We will laugh victorious when we punch them in the fucking face as Bowser. And we will always smile when we jump on or hammer them to death with ease in Paper Mario. But nothing will ever come close to the satisfaction of defeating them in a minigame or defeating whatever team they're a part of in Mario Super Sluggers.
Nintendo has fashioned many ways for Goombas to protect themselves from us, even making them playable to negate our abilities to challenge them to fights. But they will never, ever be safe from the embarrassment of losing a minigame to us, or their whole team failing when we beat them in baseball. It's the satisfaction of winning the game and defeating any hope Goomba has of winning. That's why it's #1.
Honestly, there may be no greater satisfaction than defeating an enemy you can't physically see squish into a disc and cough up a coin. But who knows, Nintendo may design even more tools for Goomba Gloomfing. Until they do, these are probably the best ways to do it.
We'll just have to wait and see. I feel like we're due for a new Super Mario Bros. Game in the coming years, and with each new Mario game comes several new Goomba fighting methods. We're just waiting for them to put Goombas in Mario Kart so we can huck shells at them. If you doubt this, we will remind you of the several other things Goombas have done despite not having hands. Thank you for watching. Do you agree with our list? Do you have a favorite Goomba fighting method? Share it with us in the comments. Then subscribe so we feel like the research we put into this video wasn't for nothing. Now that you've done that, I want ice cream. Ice cream responsibly.